The sun had barely risen, but Ahmed was already awake, sitting by the small window of his tiny one-room house. His weary eyes watched the world outside, children rushing to school, shopkeepers opening their stores, and rickshaws honking in the distance. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of another long day ahead. Ahmed was a simple man, a tailor by profession, stitching clothes in a small shop at the corner of a busy street. He wasn't rich, but he had one priceless treasure, his daughter Ayesha. Since the day her mother passed away when Ayesha was just 5, Ahmed had played both roles. A father who worked tirelessly to provide for her and a mother who comforted her on sleepless nights. Ayesha was now 16, a bright and hardworking student with big dreams. She wanted to become a doctor, not for money, not for status, but because she had seen too many people in their neighborhood suffer due to a lack of proper medical care. "Baba, one day I'll build a hospital where no one will be turned away just because they're poor," she would say with determination in her eyes. Ahmed's heart swelled with pride every time she said this. He had promised himself that no matter what, he would make sure Ayesha got the education she deserved. But life wasn't easy. His income barely covered their rent, food, and Ayesha's school fees. Every month, he struggled to make ends meet, often skipping meals so that Ayesha wouldn't have to. But he never complained. His daughter's success was his only dream. One evening, after a long day of stitching clothes, Ahmed walked home with slow, tired steps. His head felt heavy and his vision blurred for a moment. He shook it off, convincing himself it was just exhaustion. Ayesha greeted him at the door with her usual bright smile. "Baba, I made your favorite lentil soup," she said excitedly. Ahmed smiled, hiding his fatigue. "That's my smart girl. You always know how to cheer me up." As they ate, Ayesha told him about her school projects, the upcoming exams, and how she was determined to win a scholarship. "If I win, Baba, you won't have to worry about my college fees." Ahmed patted her head. "I'm already proud of you, my child. You just focus on your studies." But that night, when Ayesha had gone to bed, Ahmed sat alone, staring at the ceiling. He knew the reality: scholarships were not guaranteed and college fees were beyond his reach. How would he afford it? How would he keep his promise to his late wife that he would give their daughter a better life? As he lost himself in these thoughts, a sharp pain shot through his chest. He gasped, clutching his heart, struggling to breathe. The pain subsided after a few minutes, but it left him shaken. He wiped the sweat from his forehead. "I'll be fine," he whispered to himself. "I just need some rest." But deep down he knew something was wrong. Days passed and the pain became more frequent. Ahmed felt weaker, but he continued working, pushing through the discomfort. He couldn't afford to stop, not when Ayesha's future depended on him. One day while he was stitching a customer's dress, a sudden dizziness overtook him. His vision darkened and before he knew it, he collapsed. When he woke up, he was in a hospital bed with Ayesha sitting beside him, her face pale with worry. "Baba, you scared me," she cried, holding his hand tightly. Ahmed forced a smile. "I'm fine, my child. Just a little tired." But the doctor's words shattered the illusion. "Mr. Ahmed, you have a severe heart condition. If you don't get surgery soon, it could be life-threatening." Ayesha's hands trembled. "How much does the surgery cost, doctor?" The doctor hesitated. "It will cost around 500,000 rupees." Ayesha felt the ground slip beneath her. That was an unimaginable amount for them. Ahmed looked at his daughter, seeing the fear in her eyes. He forced a chuckle. "Don't worry, beta. I've lived a good life. If it's my time." "Don't say that, Baba." Ayesha interrupted, tears streaming down her face. "We will find a way. I can get a part-time job." "I can." Ahmed shook his head. "No. Your studies come first." But how would they arrange the money? There was no answer. Over the next few days, Ayesha did everything she could to raise money. She visited charities, pleaded with local businessmen, and even thought of dropping out of school to work full-time. But help didn't come. One night, as Ahmed watched his daughter struggle, his heart ached, not from illness but from helplessness. He had to do something. That night, while Ayesha was asleep, Ahmed made the hardest decision of his life. He sold his shop, the only source of their income, to arrange money for his surgery. When Ayesha woke up and found out, she was furious. "Baba, how could you? This was our only livelihood. How will we survive?" Ahmed smiled weakly. "As long as you have your education, you will never need to depend on anyone." The surgery was successful, but when Ahmed returned home, he found himself jobless and weaker than ever. Ayesha, now burdened with responsibility, took up tutoring younger students. She studied harder than before, determined to make sure her father's sacrifice didn't go to waste. Years passed, and she fought every hardship with unwavering determination. After years of struggle, Ayesha finally graduated as a doctor. The day she received her first salary, she rushed home, her hands trembling with excitement. She found Ahmed sitting in an old wooden chair, looking frail but content. Kneeling before him, she placed her salary in his hands. "Baba, today your sacrifice gave me wings. Now let me take care of you." Ahmed's eyes filled with tears. He had lost everything: his shop, his health, But in that moment he realized he had gained something far more valuable. His daughter had fulfilled his dream. That night as Ahmed lay in bed, he whispered a prayer. "Thank you Allah for blessing me with a daughter who understands the true meaning of love and sacrifice." Ayesha wiped her tears and held his hand. "Baba, you gave me everything. Now let me give you the life you deserve." And for the first time in years, Ahmed slept peacefully, knowing that his sacrifice had not been in vain. True love is not measured by words but by sacrifices made for the ones we cherish.